Toys R Us meant a lot to the employees, and most people loved going to Toys R Us and working there. That is, until it was bought out. It was bought out in a leveraged buyout by a couple of private equity and hedge funds, and after they bought it out, everything changed. We lost most of our benefits, the full-time positions were cut down to part-time.
If we think about how the private equity industry works, they first start by raising money from already wealthy individuals. Then they'll buy different companies to try and generate a profit from that. Now you have a private equity owner who is incentivized to just make as much money as possible. You don't care about these other things that affect the day-to-day lives of your employees. One of the things that we have really seen in the last couple of decades is that these private equity owners, they have started to maximize how much debt the companies can actually take on before suddenly, if the businesses change and they slow down, they really struggle to repay this debt. They no longer could invest in their company to make sure that they had the proper e-commerce to compete with the Amazons of the world. And so they will end up having to declare bankruptcy. All the employees get laid off. But yet, through all of that, the private equity firms have come away and they've still profited.
I actually found we were going bankrupt when I was recovering at home from losing my own baby. And I couldn't even take the time I needed to recover because the new owners told us that the only way we would get our severance is if we were working till the end. So I had to go back a couple weeks early, and I worked every single day till this store closed in order to get my severance package. And then when we got those final letters that said, by the way, you're not getting severance anymore, it was a kick to the gut. Not only had they lied to us, but they made it clear that they didn't care what happened to the 32,000 employees that had made them all this money. And we decided to fight back. A lot of people didn't think anything could be done, and I pushed forward anyway. Along with about 200 employees, we went to the buildings of KKR, Oak Tree, Bain. We showed up in force and it didn't stop. We went to investor meetings. We did a flash mob at a store in New Jersey. And this was the first time I had ever told my story out loud, talked about losing my son out loud.
My name is Sarah. My name is Sarah. I found out I was losing my job on Facebook. As I was recovering from losing my baby. In a 2-week period. I lost my baby. Lost my job. And lost my house. We won't stop fighting. And we are not going away.
Everyone was crying with me. It wasn't just me. Everyone was willing to keep fighting because we saw what private equity was doing, not just to us, but to retail, to the economy in general, and that there was no regulation on them whatsoever. They finally sat down with us and listened. And we were able to put together a hardship fund that was KKR and Bain Capital, donating $10 million each. So it was a total of $20 million when we were owed 75, but it was a start and it was unprecedented. It had never happened like this before.
So I think we're finally seeing a big awakening of what has been going on since the 1980s. We've already seen the gap between CEOs' pay and workers was widening a tremendous amount. So with private equity, that has made it even worse, where the executives will get paid the same way the private equity firms will often get paid through the company's stock. And so what does that mean for the workers? That means that all the decisions get made to help the stockholders, which are typically the private equity owners, and also the company management.
People do not understand what private equity and hedge funds are. They own everything from Sears to Dollar General to Pizza Hut. There is housing and rental buildings, especially in this current economy after COVID-19. Most of the housing was bought up by hedge funds and private equity, and now they're jacking up the prices. So everyone is affected by private equity in some way, shape, or form.
And so rise in unionization has really helped to collectively push back on reduction in benefits, in the reductions in pay raises.
The number one thing private equity doesn't want is for you to talk about them. The moment you talk about them, the moment any light is shined on them, everyone can see the bad practices and the bad actors in all of this and what they're doing. So talk about it. We can force private equity into the role that they initially came into our economy to do, which was to invest in small business and help the economy grow. They've strayed from that. They've gone into greed, and if enough of us say, this is not okay and we won't let you do it, we can make that change.